Today I'm going to talk about AI. Everyone's talking about this. It's nothing new. It's nothing special, right? But I feel like this video is important because I have firsthand experience with a lot of aspects of LLMs. I have developed my own LLMs. I am a programmer. I use LLMs on a daily basis to help me write code. It just makes things easier, faster, more efficient. And if you don't use it, then you are genuinely going to fall behind in this current stage of the world. You are going to be at a disadvantage. And why would anyone want that? So I'm okay with it because even before, people used to go on Stack Overflow and just copy paste code that they find there. Bad programmers still do the same thing, but using LLMs. Good programmers actually understand the code that it gives out and studies it before trying to do anything with it. And I've also made peace with the fact that AI is taking my job. I am obviously not okay with it, but I'm slowly learning to be, because literally one person can do the work of like 10 people in the present day. That is not even exaggeratory. So why would companies want to hire more people, right? It just doesn't make sense anymore. I've made peace with that fact. But what I don't like is these LLMs generating more of those creative stuffs, artworks, videos, songs, musics. Why? Why do we want that? Why do we need that? Those are not necessities in life. You do not need to be a great artist to be a great person. You do not need to be a great artist to do something good in life. Why are these things getting better at that? Like, it's not even an important thing. And what's happening due to that is a lot of artists, filmmakers, and all those people are losing credibility. You know what? In fact, everything is losing credibility. You don't know what's real and what's fake anymore. I have gotten tricked by some of these AI videos. I have gotten tricked by some of these AI images. That's just how it is. Why would he want that? That is dystopian. Nothing is going to be real anymore. So why am I ranting about this today? Now, I have been into art since I was a kid. Okay, I've always been drawing, sketching during free times and lunch breaks, even at middle school, high school, not just university, which I am in right now. You know what? I just completed it, by the way. Congratulate me. I am now a university graduate and a bachelor's degree holder in computer science. Anyway, let's not get off topic. I've always loved art. And nowadays, I post my artworks as time lapses. I mostly draw Pokemon fusions, Pokemon designs, concepts. And what happened recently was I drew the concept art for these new Gen 10 starter evolutions, and people didn't like it very much. They thought I was just recoloring the already existing Pokemons, which I was kind of doing because it was concept art, right? I wanted Brout's evolution to look kind of like Blaziken, but greener and leafier. And people hated that. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to show you I'm good at art. So I made detailed evolutions for those starters, as you can see right here. And people just started calling it AI. Now, listen, I don't really care about what people think. But when you genuinely see a time lapse in front of your face and you still can't believe it's like not an AI artwork, that's how you know the world's cooked. Because now you can't really prove it anymore. If people don't believe a fucking time lapse that's happening, how can they believe anything? Like, how do I even prove that my artwork is not AI? I was genuinely baffled because I had no explanation as to how I could, prove it. I was like, fuck you mean? You can see it right there. It's a time lapse. If I was tracing or copying from AI, you would see that on the screen. And a lot of people said there are ways to, bypass that or get over it by using layer stuffs. I don't do that. I just screen record my shit, crop it, and then post it. So you should be able to see it. And that just pissed me off, because like now I can't do anything about it. People that think it's AI, they're just going to keep thinking it's AI. And I am hopeless. AI being good at these things is just not helping anyone, man. And again, you don't need to be a good artist to be a good human. You don't need to be a good artist to do something good in life. Why don't you understand that? You don't need this. You don't need to generate pictures and call it your art. This whole thing is bullshit. Anyway, what I did was I went to ChatGPT and asked it to generate a few pictures based on my prompts. And holy shit, I didn't know. Yes, I have developed LLMs and I use it every day, but I just didn't know how good it had gotten. It doesn't draw like 6 fingers anymore. There's no discoloration. You can't really tell that it's a bad image that's AI generated. There's nothing to make it look like AI. What the fuck? That's so bad. This is crazy. This is dystopia and it needs to be stopped. But my voice is not going to do anything. See, the sad part is I am broke. So if one of these big companies do offer me a job as a machine learning engineer or an LLM developer, I will take it. Like, I have to. You know, I can't do anything about it because money is important in life. I could complain a bit, but they're not going to hear me out. Obviously, my words are not going to matter. They might just fire me instead, which is not something that I want. And I feel like a lot of people are already in that position. They can't lose their job, so they keep making these LLMs better, and the world is just going to crumble soon. But yeah, anyway, that's about it, man. I expressed my frustration, and that's all I can do. Hopefully, you guys also realize that LLMs getting better at these creative stuffs is not good. That's about it. Peace.